Does anyone believe that this environmental thing is the real reason for anything?
I don't really think it doesn't even really make any sense where suddenly it just seems the environmental angle. Like, I haven't done an episode about the environmental impact of crypto, but it's been shown that crypto already has a strong amount of renewable energy in it, and the economic incentives are such that over time, especially as the block reward decreases, then the amount of energy spent will be directly proportional to whatever is needed to sustain the amount of transactions that there are on the
Uh,
network. So in that way, it would actually be very, very efficient. And if it can replace the whole banking sector, it would be massive because of how much global power usage there is there, and probably most of the gold
exactly.
mining as well too. So there, it
Yeah.
would be fine in that front, but it's just so weird because this whole environmental stuff has started up in the last like 6 months maybe, and it's just that.
I've seen all these articles that just state Bitcoin cryptocurrency uses too much energy. Bitcoin uses too much energy. And like compared to what? That's an incomplete argument. You can't just say it's too much without comparing it to a similar thing.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe at the moment, for the small amount of relative world commerce it does, it is a bit overhyped. But the point is that it's got the potential, yeah, to just completely flip out. And as the transactions and usage goes up, that's not necessarily correlated to the mining. So it gets more efficient over time rather than less, or at least Bitcoin Cash does. Uh,
Bitcoin Cash has the this is another thing I don't understand. Bitcoin Cash I can see pushing out banking, gold, everything else. But when Bitcoin Core people talk about Bitcoin like we do about Bitcoin Cash, we're going to take over the world. It's all going to be Bitcoin. What are they talking about? I don't know what are they visualizing there because they're not trying to sell it as a currency anymore. And yet here they are going, well, you just wait until we've taken over the world. What does that mean?
I don't know. It's well, it's just an in crowd. It's just a story that they're all telling themselves. I mean, and I did use a Lightning wallet the other day. I at the
Really?
meetup, yeah. This guy got me to download it and sent me a little bit, and I mean, it was fine. It was actually very similar to the $1 Bitcoin Cash that I sent him, um, on chain. But the problem was, like, even at the surface level, I mean, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash have been split now for 4 or 5 years, and they're just starting to get to the point of having that same kind of functionality when they should have just raced way ahead. They didn't have any chaos, they didn't have anything, and they've just kind of got to that point. But even then, it just falls apart once you look at the more fundamental aspects, like the fees on chain are going up over time, and there's no plan basically to stop that. So as the fees go up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, there's even to use the Lightning network, you have to open a Lightning channel, and that costs you money. And so it's just a nightmare. But the more, yeah, I don't know, it's just this story that they're kind of telling them each other, and that's why it's been very odd for me. We'll talk about this later as well. With in London, there's been all these Bitcoin ads, buy Bitcoin everywhere, and that was like the future. That was what was imagined as, wow, one day if crypto was everywhere, that's what it would be. But there's these ads everywhere, but there was nobody actually using Bitcoin. You don't see people just trading it around you or whatever, except for maybe at some of these crypto meetups, which have been really good. But uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, just wasn't there, right? So
So did you pay the fee to open the
no, I
channel and
didn't.
then the fee to close the
That
channel, all
that's
that
right. That's
stuff?
why it was the weirdest thing, because I was sort of trying to figure it out while we were standing there, because he sent me a couple of satoshis, like 900 satoshis or something. So it was a couple of cents, and I got it, and
Yeah.
it was all fine. But I was trying to figure out. So I said, like, is this? Do I have the private keys? Is this my custodial wallet? And it was sort of like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and then I tried googling it. I was trying to figure out what's going on here, because there's no way this has come to me on the blockchain. So it must just be in the Breeze's like wallet database or something like that. But then that's not really a,
I've I-
a crypto transaction.
I've also tried Googling it, not to be, I am open to be convinced, but it's a Rube Goldberg machine. It doesn't sound good. I'm happy that you tried it though. That's interesting
Oh, I
to
was
hear
happy to
about.
give it a go. I mean, it was great to receive some and just sort of be on the other end of that experience of getting introduced to something in crypto. I did actually enjoy it. It was really cool and interesting, but the thing was, even though on the surface it seemed the same as me giving out people $1 of Bitcoin Cash on chain with their own keys in their wallet, even though it seemed the same with, I just download this app, just scan this QR code and then just send it. So in that way it seemed the same, but I was just sure that as soon as I started digging into it, and I tried looking up their website later on and trying to read how did this all work, and there just wasn't really that much detail. And obviously there's no way I can have it because he only sent me 10 cents. So that transaction would never have processed on the actual BTC network. So yeah, I don't know.
That wouldn't go through. That's what I was thinking. Wouldn't it be cheaper to just send you the 10 cents and pay the one fee than to pay the fee to open the channel and the fee to close the channel? You can't just move 10 cents and pay a ridiculous fee more than 10 cents.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He didn't pay any fee, so that's why I felt like it had to just be some sort of on-chain, not on-chain, off-chain type, database thing that this Breeze wallet. I don't know. I still am a bit mystified, to be honest, really. But I was like, there's clearly some shenanigans going on here. But it was cool. And I mean, maybe they can onboard a decent amount of people in that way. But I can't, and then as soon as you want to send from one wallet to another wallet, there's going to be incompatibility issues, or you're going to have problems with the Lightning routing, or somebody, the government's going to sit on one of those Lightning nodes and switch it off at a convenient moment to just sort of screw up the whole network, or there's just so many points of weakness, I think.